Well, welcome to Schenectady today in and around the Capital Region. We're so happy that you're joining us today. We have a great lineup, but you know, we just celebrated our 1000th show last week, and one of the videos that was prepared wasn't shown, and I want to just share that with you, so we're going to show that right now, and then I'll tell you who our guests are going to be on the show. Coming. There it is. It's not playing for me. Oh. It's not playing? No. Okay. Well, then we'll just go ahead with I'll tell you who's coming on the show. Maybe we can clear that up after. Right now we're going to be talking, our first guest is from the Northeastern Association for the Blind in Albany. Then we're going to be talking with a representative from the Dudley Observatory to find out about Astronomy Week and Astronomy Day and what's going on. Then we'll be going over to Sand Lake Center for the Arts and finding out about In the Heat of the Night, which is being directed by Patrick White. And then we're going to find out about a Homebrew Emporium, and they are celebrating their 20th anniversary. They've been on the show. Roger has done lots of cooking on my show, so we'll be finding out about that. But another anniversary is coming up for Sandra Stevens, and we're very happy to have her on the show, but she will be talking about the Harvest Fest on Upper Union Street. And then James Miller is scheduled to be on the show to talk about the Oktoberfest 5K run. So we're going to start out with Cheryl. My friend Cheryl.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Happy 101th.
101.
Or 1,000th.
That doesn't
right?
roll off
no.
my tongue, does it?
1,001st.
And first. Okay.
Congratulations.
Oh, the first of the next 1,000.
Yes.
That's a good
there
one.
You go.
Good. Cheryl Lawyer, she's with the national. Why say national?
You do.
I know, but it's the Northeastern Association of the Blind, Albany. And with her, she's brought Clive, and Clive is cooling it here.
He's chilling.
Chilling out.
He's chilling.
He was trained kind of as a guide
I
dog?
raised him, I'm a puppy raiser and for guide dogs, for guiding eyes for the blind, and he was raised as a guide dog, hopefully to be a guide dog, and he did a really good job. He passed his test. He has some puppies in training. He went into training for about 6 months, decided that wasn't his thing, so this is his full-time job.
He's the ambassador.
He is the ambassador for the Northeastern Association of the Blind.
So he gets to be an ambassador?
We go out to health fairs and senior centers and schools, and we talk about vision loss and service dogs. So he has a busy job, busy schedule.
And he's a friendly
and he
ambassador.
Loves everyone.
He
so
does.
He's a
we
good boy. We're really
so
proud of him.
Yep. Yeah, even if he's hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Playing, being cool. But let me tell you, you do really a great event every year. Well, actually, it's 2 events. You do in Albany and Saratoga. Tell us about it so that people who know of someone or may have vision impairment of some nature, they need to talk to you.
Yes, they do. This is our 9th year of hosting the Low Vision Technology Fairs, now in Albany and Saratoga. On October 16th, it'll be in Albany at St. Sophia's Greek Orthodox Church, which is a great venue, as you know. Clive is trying to catch a fly, so I'm trying to.
There is a fly. You know, I hope he catches it. That's all I can say.
Yes, right.
When
He's
he
focused.
Gets around, buzzing around your head, it's very distracting.
He's focused, so we'll try to multitask here. So that'll be on October 16th on Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or excuse me, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then the next day in Saratoga at the City Center will be the same thing. And these events the mission is really to help people who are experiencing low vision, vision loss, those who are caring for them, teachers, educators, anybody that's interested in learning about what resources are available for low vision and vision loss.
Well, what would they expect? Like, I mean, some people use computers, some read books, and it's very frustrating. I know I have a second pair of reading glasses that are all reading glasses, which makes it a lot easier to read than using bifocal. So I think we kind of look for tools that will help us, but your tools go beyond that.
They do. We can start, well, let me back up. We're going to be focusing on the low vision technology companies. There will be several organizations that provide basic assistive tools such as magnifiers, and I brought some to show, on up to computer-based software, reading machines, video magnifiers that help with reading and daily activities. I want to mention also at each venue at 10 o'clock and at 1 o'clock we'll have guest speakers. They're all
nice.
Ophthalmologists, local eye doctors that are donating their time to talk about the latest in research and treatment about vision problems, primarily vision loss related to aging issues. Macular degeneration is a big one. It's a leading cause of vision loss as we get older, and all the doctors will be talking about that, as well as other issues related to vision loss.
And of course, diabetes is one of the things that really causes vision problems.
Diabetes is the leading cause of vision loss in this country today, and it's the most preventable. And that's kind of the crime. That's the sad part about this condition. You know, local Lions clubs, of which I'm a member, are really trying to initiate
showing some photos
initiatives to help raise awareness about diabetes and vision loss.
Right
there we are. That's Clive and the Lions Club.
Yeah, and will they be participating?
The Lions clubs will be at both venues, and this year in particular, I want to highlight the Lions Hearing Conservation Society will be there to provide information about hearing loss. So many of our attendees at the event are older, and that's kind of a thing that happens sometimes as we get older, is a declining hearing. So they'll be talking about what's available for hearing aids, hearing screening, and they also have a loaner program, so they're a tremendous resource for hearing loss issues. So they'll be at both
And then when
events.
You remember that a lot of this generation was the Woodstock generation that had all the loud music that really impairs your hearing terribly. And I don't even know how people that play in those bands can handle it.
I know, and you know, we've learned so much over the last, I'm going to say 50 years. We're living twice as long as we ever did, and that's why we're seeing more problems with our vision that, you know, we're learning about glaucoma and diabetes, as well as macular degeneration, but hearing as well.
Are you doing any screening there or not?
We are not doing any screenings at this event. However, we do screenings in the community at both senior centers and senior living, as well as for children, which is a big initiative. We won't see probably a lot of children at these events because it'll be during the school day, so we can always coordinate vision screenings in the community.
For parents to look at. I mean, if kids have a vision problem, and a lot of times, you know, when they have, quote, a learning problem, it's not the learning problem, it's the vision.
That's correct.
They're not seeing the blackboard. They're not able to read the books clearly. It's
80% of learning is through our eyes.
Yeah.
So NABA, and as well as the local Lions Club, going a little off topic, but it's kind of related. We're talking about vision loss. Are partnering in the community to do vision screenings for children at preschools, nursery schools, kindergarten registrations, and helping identify those early signs of vision problems in children. It's a free program. We go to the schools, we take the pictures of their eyes, and it's done in a matter of seconds, and we get an immediate result as to how that vision screening goes. So we won't be doing them at this event, but we will be in the future in other community events. So.
Now, I mean, it must take a lot to put these events together. How do you get your funding?
Well, this is actually free.
But I know.
But in general, the companies that come and exhibit support the event. But as an organization, the Northeastern, NABA is a nonprofit organization, so we depend on donations and donors and our fundraisers. We have a gala and we have a casino night that's coming up on October 19th. So that's a big event to promote our children's programs. So like many nonprofits, we have these fundraisers throughout the year. We just had our golf tournament. So we depend on donations and fundraising to help us do these programs in the community to help educate about vision loss. And so we're really excited. Again, this is the 9th year that we're doing this. I brought with me a couple samples. So we're talking about technology, and a lot of these companies will be showcasing reading machines. They're called video magnifiers or closed circuit televisions, where camera actually, I'm going to borrow your paper, looks at your paper and blows it up on a screen. But for a lot of people, a simple low vision examination at our facility in Albany, our low vision specialist, Dr. KCG, could prescribe magnifiers that can be helpful.
I have one at my kitchen table, just in case.
Yeah, if you go to the dollar store or Walmart and you buy like reading glasses or a hand magnifier, that's a great way to deal with.
I like it with the light.
Yeah, but if you need more than 3X, which is all they will sell in the stores, then you need to see us in Albany at 301 Washington Avenue is where our low vision center is for prescription of different types of magnifiers that can go up
I
to
didn't know you could do that.
15X. So I brought some samples. There's some little ones that are lighted. So these will be at the event, so people can look at some of the basic, simple solutions, some talking clocks and watches, large print items that can help. And then when we move on into technology, I did bring with me, I hope it didn't fall asleep, this is a handheld video magnifier. This is kind of one of the basic technologies that's available to people who have low vision. And this is like having 6 of these. So people can, I don't know how well you can see this on the camera, but you can change from black and white to different colors. You can increase the magnification.
So you can put that on the labels that they give you that you can't read?
Correct.
Because they're like 0.0.
Yeah, right. So when you're in the grocery store reading that, you can, how is that?
Yeah.
All right, and change accordingly. So this is a handy tool, and they come in different sizes, almost like the size.
Step over there, because those are really cool things.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank Cheryl. We're just about out of time, but you can go to these free events. One is at St. Sophia's in Albany on Whitehall Road. Oh, this fly is here.
He's back.
What is wrong with that dog? They didn't get
that fly.
Anyway, or the other one will be up in the Saratoga Center City. So check them out because it's important. Our vision is so important, and it keeps you involved in your community if you can read and see things right.
It's all about staying independent.
Exactly.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Ann.
Thanks for bringing Clyde.
Hey, Clyde, well, yeah.
I didn't announce earlier, but our breaks today, if you've read the Gazette, they did a piece on Helen Quarini, who was an advocate for the GE retirees, and I did a number of interviews with her, and we're going to be showing some of those for our breaks today, just to give a shout out for 2010. Stay tuned. Okay, good.
Okay.
Helen Quarini. Helen, of course, one of my favorite people in the Schenectady County, is so active in trying to speak out for the pensioners in GE, among with many other issues that she's involved with in our community. And we're always pleased to have her on the show to talk about things in general at GE.
There's always lots of stuff.
She has a GE employee pension trust, and she wants to talk about that a little bit. So I'm going to hold this up, and maybe Dick can pull this in, and she'll start telling us about this.
Before we start, I want to compliment Ann for the great program that she has. It's a treasure in Schenectady that a lot of people think that all counties have this. That's not true. Channel 16 is a great treasure. So if you got any...
Well, I guess we're having trouble with our playback because neither video is playing, but I'm sorry to say, but I'm glad you didn't bring any video.
There you go.
Because that wouldn't play either.
Right.
Valerie Rapson, Dr. Rapson is a astrophysicist, and she's at the Dudley Observatory. She's an does outreach.
Yep.
And we have National Astronomy. That's not astrology.
No, astronomy. There's a difference between astronomy and astrology.
Keep it straight there. Because astronomy is an exact science. Well, so to speak.
Yeah, for the most part.
Things keep changing.
Oh yeah, things are always changing. We're always discovering new things.
And we lost Cassini.
We did, yeah. Last week it finished its mission. I don't like to think of it as losing it, but more as it completed its mission and did so many successful things.
Yeah, and the photos came back and it went through the rings and everything. Just
they
amazing.
did. Did you hear about the clumps in the rings that they're naming after kittens?
No.
That was the latest thing yesterday. Yeah, there's some rocks in Saturn's rings that they're naming, Fluffy, Mittens, all of that fun stuff, just to, keep people interested.
Absolutely. Well, that's cute.
You never
that's
know.
Really cute. I'm going to have to check that out. I love astronomy and the, whoops, something going on out there. This is what I love about doing the show here. You just never know what's going on. It's live. There's noise and stuff. But the idea that we celebrate astronomy.
Yes.
And we look to the stars. I mean, we look with Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica, or all those shows. Star Trek was my favorite. But anyway, how are you celebrating? How do we get the word out?
Yeah. Well, you know, we promote things online. We post videos. We write a lot of articles. At the museum, we're going to have hands-on activities for kids and adults, and we try and set up lessons. And I'll be throughout the community this week and next week. We're going to be at maybe farms with a telescope. We're going to different schools with our star labs. So we just try and bring astronomy where the people are and let them experience it.
And it's important to recognize that we live in a big, we're just a little speck. When you look at the projections of Earth into everything else, it's like we're not even.
No, we're just
can't even find us.
This tiny little speck. All you have to do is go to Mars, and we just turn into a little star in the sky. You know, we're so tiny.
So what are you doing? You're having things for kids, of course.
Yeah, this coming Saturday from 10 to 4, right at my side, we're going to have tables of hands-on activities, and then we'll do solar observing if the sun is out with our solar telescope.
Okay, and of course you had the
eclipse. Yes, yeah, we had 1,400 people there, which was a record attendance for us. It was fantastic.
And you ran out of glasses?
Oh yeah, we ran out of glasses long before the eclipse, but we had them there for people to borrow, so it was okay.
And so this is a national day, so I'm sure that NASA is doing things with it as
well.
Oh
yeah, very much so. All science
centers.
You're
linked in with NASA as far as videos.
Yeah, we do. We collaborate with them. We have a lot of activities that we share, so there's lots of good stuff going on.
Yeah, so anyway, so you have all these events, but you're also working on getting your own facility.
Yes, we're trying to build a Dudley Observatory. I'm calling it Dudley Observatory Take 3 because this will be the third one in its history. But yeah, we're at the end.
What was the first? Wasn't there one at Union?
Well, the first two were in Albany. They had their own separate buildings, but the last one burned down in the 1970s, and we haven't had our own building ever since.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring it back. Yeah, so by the end of October, we should have a modern roll-top observatory, and we're still raising money for the modern telescope to put inside of it.
Okay, and then by roll top, you means that you decide you're going to do it, and then
the roof physically goes back off completely, and then it exposes the building to the sky, so you can point your telescopes.
And what will the magnification be of that? I mean, well, how far will you be able to see into the galaxy?
Oh, definitely. So, I mean, we'll be able to see many of the stars in the galaxy. We can take a look at Andromeda, our nearest neighbor galaxy, star clusters, nebula, all of that fun stuff. Even though we're in downtown Schenectady and we do have some light pollution, we're going to get a large telescope that will let us see those things.
To get right through all of that.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest problem with vision out there is the ambient light. I mean, there's just so much. So you do go to another place at times, right? To the barn?
Yes, we do. The Octagon Barn out in Delanson. That's a much darker site, and we just have small portable telescopes that we bring there, and people can look at the stars, look at the nebula with us. That's Friday nights.
It's just so cool. I'm going to look at the list here. You have National Astronomy Week, which is 9/25, which is just yesterday.
Yep, starting next
October the 1st. National Astronomy Day is on the 30th.
Yes,
which is probably the weekend, I imagine.
Yep, Saturday.
World Space Week.
Yes, that's coming up in early October. That's October 4th through the 10th, and it's just another celebration. I feel like we're always constantly celebrating astronomy. So this one is more all across the world. All of the different space agencies collaborate and try and share what they're doing with the public.
And they do. I mean, the satellites, they seem to be, the space stations.
Yeah, nowadays everything is a collaboration. NASA is doing a lot, but the European Space Agency or the Canadians, they're helping us build different pieces, different cameras. So we all have to work together in this effort.
I watched a video on YouTube of the space. Maybe it was on NASA. I'm not sure where, but the space station. I was amazed because in watching TV, you think, oh, all this space.
Sure.
There's no space. I mean, they're moving and they got every
it's very tight.
There's food, there's this, everything is just
You're living in like a tube basically the whole time.
It was like amazing. Go check it out. It's really, and it was a woman that gave the tour.
Sure.
It was wonderful. It was like,
it's cool. I don't think I could do it. I'm too claustrophobic for that. So more power to the astronauts because I don't think I could survive it.
It was just so amazing.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was more room, but every space is
every inch is useful because it has to be.
It has to be. So that's amazing.
Yes.
And then you have the International Observe the Moon Night.
Yes,
what is that?
That's October 28th, and that's just a celebration of looking at the moon. So we're going to have telescopes out early evening, like 6 to 8 p.m., and we're going to have them pointed at the moon.
So we're going to see the man?
Activities. Well, maybe. You can use your imagination. The man, the bunny. Depends on what you like to look at.
The man and the moon.
There you go.
Yeah, that was funny. The honeymooners there.
Yeah.
So you have quite a bit going on, and I would recommend that you just take some time and check out some of the events. You'll find out more about these events if you go to their website. There's two websites.
Yep.
The Dudley Observatory and also MySci. And how are you associated with the MySci?
Yeah, so we have a partnership agreement, so we run all of our education programs through the museum.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is, check it out. I mean, think about what we have in our area. We have the planetarium.
Planetarium, Challenger.
The Challenger. I mean, we've got so
Observatory.
much here.
Yes, just lots and lots of space happening here.
I
Lots
know,
of
isn't it
astronomy.
great? I love space.
It's wonderful.
You and me too.
Yes, definitely.
And so I want to thank you for being here, Valerie.
Thank you.
It's always fun to learn about what's going on at MySci and the Dudley Observatory. Bring your kids there. Let them learn about these things. And get a subscription. Yeah, have some fun. Get
Yes.
Grandparents.
Please do. Oh yeah, the memberships get you in free all year. It's great. It's
Into
great.
other museums as well.
Yes, definitely.
Cool. Good. Thanks so much, Valerie.
You're welcome.
We're going to take another break, although I'm not sure what our break is going to be because it doesn't seem to be working. But we're going to quickly get our next guests on really quick so that you only have to look at that picture once for a little short time. Thank you.
They can always use it. And please join.
Thank you.
Okay, now in regard to my discussion about pensions, this is a picture that we put out every month, every year, and it's called the Hall of Shame. This is the front part of it. Just to give you an idea about our pension trust, this was last year's, and the pension trust was worth $48 billion. I'm saying billion, people. And it has a surplus of
Get your mic on.
It has a surplus right now of about $22 billion. So it's not that the company doesn't have money to spend, they just don't want to spend it. Also, if you look at it, you see the bottom part to get an idea, never mind figures, see how much the pension in red, the pension payout has been, and you see what the assets are in green. As I say, every year we put this out. I chair a group called the GE Pension Justice Fund, and we do this and we pass them out at a shareholders meeting. That lays the foundation for what.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize that our video is not working properly, but you know, that's what goes on. Right? You guys know you do a live show.
That's why we do live theater.
Anything could happen.
Things
right?
happen all the time.
Yeah, and well, right now I have with me, and I want to get Aleem. Is that right? Aleem Penn. And then we have Patrick Wright. He's the director. Aleem plays Virgil Tibbs. Behind me, I have right here is going to be Lee Latimer, and next to him is Richard Cross, and they are characters in John Ball's In the Heat of the Night.
Yes.
Tell us about that. We sure remember the movie.
Yeah.
And the TV shows.
Yeah, it's amazing. Actually, when choosing this play, we didn't realize, but it is the 50th anniversary of the Oscar-winning film.
Really?
Yep.
Thank
John
you.
Ball wrote the novel. John Ball is Schenectady native, born here.
Really?
Yep.
I had no idea.
Neither did I.
Did you guys know that?
No.
Happy
I knew the 50th
After he
anniversary.
told you, yeah, right.
I knew the 50th anniversary, but I didn't know he's born here.
I didn't either.
Wow.
1965 novel, became the 1967 Oscar-winning Best Picture, and Rod Steiger won Best Actor for Chief Gillespie. And then there were 6 more Virgil Tibbs novels written with that character.
I had no idea.
6 more
John
novels.
Ball wrote more novels about it.
Yep. And the TV series, which came on in 1989.
With Carol O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor for, I believe it was 7 years. And now it's syndicated.
It's in reruns. I've been watching it recently.
I used to watch reruns when I was
Yeah,
little,
yeah,
so
you
now it's
too,
funny
right?
that I'm playing the characters. So.
And I think it's just the longevity of the story and the interest. I think it's just a genius idea. in that every detective is somewhat an outsider. Poirot, Spade, Sherlock Holmes,
Miss Marple. You know,
and society is resistant to them at first because they're poking into areas or they're guilty. You know, society is resistant, but in this respect, the outsider character is hated on sight because of his skin color, and the society that would eliminate him needs him for their survival. So it becomes this interconnectedness and you know, an essential part that creates this great tension between him and the entire town, both innocent and guilty. I mean, one of his chief adversaries is the chief of police.
Well, it's interesting because we're talking the South. This may not have happened in Chicago, but it certainly happened in. Oh,
Well,
you're I'm looking at you.
Well, I don't think we're,
Maybe
you know,
in
it is set in Argo, Alabama, which actually another interesting difference. The movie is set in Sparta, Mississippi. The book is Wells, South Carolina, and the play is Argo, Alabama.
So we can just
Well, just
Whatever.
the South, yeah. Actually, the movie was set in Sparta,
poetic license.
Sparta, Mississippi, because Sidney Poitier would not travel below the Mason-Dixon line. He would not work south
Because
of the
he was
Mason-Dixon
standing
line.
by his
Because he
principles.
would have to stay in different hotels. He would have
Was
to
it
stay in,
at that time?
yeah,
Really?
yes. So they set it in Sparta, Mississippi because the director, Norman Jewison, found a town, I believe it was in Illinois, that was Sparta, and they just made it Sparta, Mississippi because there was a water tower, there was,
It said Sparta.
so they just said Sparta, Mississippi.
Is that? I had no
Yeah.
clue. I guess, you know, I have to think back on my history, but I was living in the Midwest in the 60s. And there was that, and it was in Kansas, and there was that, still that racial thing then. And I, being from New York, I was like, what? What is this? You know, I was like surprised.
Yep.
But, so, you're Virgil Tibbs. How does it feel to play such an amazing character?
Well, I will admit, at first I was a little intimidated by it because it was Sidney Poitier's role. So, you know, that was such an iconic actor, and, you know, I want to make sure I did good.
Yeah,
but,
and did you, I know people, when they play a part, did you look at the movie?
No, I didn't want to look at it because I want to have my own little spin on it, my own
Okay, good.
interpretation
I just
of it.
wondered how, because I hear
But-
that. Oh, I didn't want to
Yeah.
watch the movie.
I used to watch a TV show though, like I said,
Okay.
but I never watched the movie. I'm actually gonna watch it after I do
Do
it.
watch it. It's
Yeah.
a
I'm gonna watch it after I
fabulous
do
movie.
it. But yeah, it's an honor, man. I love it. Like, I have fun every day I go to rehearsal. It don't feel like I'm working. It don't feel like I'm doing anything. Just having fun, getting into the character.
Yeah, and of course
So,
working with Patrick is
yeah,
always-
man.
is
And this
a
guy is like the president. If you ever go, if he goes to like a whole bunch of shows and like backstage, everybody's like, oh my God, Patrick's in the audience. Patrick's in the audience. So it's like the
And
the
here
amount-
he's
yeah.
on the stage.
yeah. So exactly. So
He's
you
good
know,
on the stage too.
Yeah,
So,
he's great.
and how long have you been acting?
5 years actually.
5 years.
Yeah, so I've been doing most of my stuff with Soul Rebel Performance Troupe. And this year I really
the Soul
started
Rebel, yeah.
Soul Rebel with John
Yeah,
Remy
no, I
Monet.
heard that, yeah.
Shout out to Remy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year I really want to like expand and work with different people. And this is actually one of the people I want to work with too. So
Yeah.
the fact that I'm working with him shows that I'm going in the right direction.
You're in the right direction.
Yeah,
You're going to learn a
so-
lot from Patrick.
Exactly. And Chris Foster, everybody.
Let's go to the back. We have Lee Latimer. Lee, what's your part? I got to fly here. Sorry. What's your part like? Tell me.
I play Harvey Oberst, down on a slut guy. I get arrested because I found the guy's wallet. I have the guy's wallet. in my
Yeah, you
possession.
really got nailed.
Yeah. My story is, well, it was just, I just found it lying there and he didn't need it, so I grabbed it. And now whether I actually killed him to get the wallet or not, you're gonna have to come and find out.
Yeah. How long have you been acting?
Only about 6 years now, but this is my 17th production that I've been
Your
in, so I've been
17th
busy.
production.
Yes,
You found a calling.
yes. I'm retired now, so I got plenty of time to sit there and look at my lines and memorize them.
Oh, that's the
you
toughest
go.
part is
Yes.
memorizing lines. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
And let's go over to Richard. Richard Cross. He is he's been on my show before. And tell me about your part, your character.
I play Endicott, which is the town bigwig, the real estate developer that kind of is behind the development that triggers the.
You raise orchids, don't you?
Well, that's a little. There's a difference, as Patrick was saying. This is. There's the book, there's the play.
Yeah, okay. So you don't raise orchids.
And the play is based more on the book, so there's differences between this and Sterling Sullivan's screenplay. So the characterizations on some of the characters are a little different. So my character is different than what you remember in the movie, the big slap scene in the movie, and people remember that. This is a little. This is a little different. I want to point out, it's also
no spoilers here.
It's a mystery, and the mystery is slightly different than the movie too. Because so just because you see the movie, doesn't mean you solved anything. So I think we should.
So and I think we find that in most cases that the book, you know, it's like people see the movie, they go, oh, I like the book better, or I like the movie better, you know. So they're different, the movie, and so a play, of course, would be different as well.
Mm-hmm. Right, which I think is why they put John Ball, the author of the novel, in the title of the play. It's called John Ball's In the Heat of the Night, and it's trying to get back to the novel, the source material. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, seeing a play as opposed to a movie, our set is one wall and 3 chairs. You know, we can't go out and have dogs chase. Yeah, you know, living in high off the hog in Averill Park, but no, we can't. We can't have dogs chasing, and we can't have car chase. You know, so this is what we've got, and you know, what we have is 14 actors, 35 scenes, and
14 actors.
Over 20 locations that we create, all with 3 chairs.
I think we've shown some photos too as well. He's been popping those up. So you've packed that all into that, and that's it's a black box theater. I love the theater because it's intimate. And
it's awesome.
Right there, you're right close to the actors, and I hope to get to this as well. But what made you choose this play? Because it's so appropriate, but why?
Yeah, like I was talking, this was chosen. Yeah, I actually chose this one. Yeah, well, I submitted a bunch of them, and Val Kavanaugh, my producer, said, "Which one do you like?" And I was like, but it was almost 2 years ago that this was selected, and at the time there was a lot of. There still is a lot of racial profiling. There were a lot of unarmed blacks being shot by the police, and there were a lot of issues that were bubbling up. And I thought that this story had,
relevance,
name appeal relevance. When we meet Virgil Tibbs, he's being arrested. He has been profiled and picked up at the train station because he is a black man wearing a suit with a lot of money.
Yeah, and where'd you get all that money, huh, Virgil? Where'd you get that money?
You can play the cop. you're hired, Dan. We'll bring you in. You can frisk Colleen, handcuff him.
Let me get my cuffs out.
But yeah, so, and the issue has only grown. So, I thought it was a great story, and it has continued relevance and, name appeal, and I get to work with Aleem, which I'm always looking for opportunities to work with people I haven't worked with
You haven't worked with before.
First time at Sand Lake.
Oh, really? So that is your first time there. They're so great over there.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Wonderful group of
Yeah,
people.
I've been going to their place for about 5 years,
Yeah.
and you come down that road, down 43, and the parking lot's full, and the place is packed. And
it's a nice venue. They have an art gallery out as you go in,
right?
and you can get something to sip on. And
They
so,
do concerts. They do, yeah.
So I'm glad you're over there and working with Joan Fees and a number of people there that we see all the time. So are you going to continue reaching to different theater groups?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Good.
The world is my oyster, so
It is, yeah.
whoever sees me on this show and wants to work with me, hey, I'm available. Let me know.
And Richard, how long have you been involved?
Oh, off and on. I started about 35 years ago. When I first came to Albany, I was looking for
You're a
something to
baby
do.
at this,
So, yes, I was a baby. I was looking for something to do, and so I got some small parts. I mostly worked backstage, and
Yeah.
and then on and off as life allowed me, I continued to get a part here and there.
What
so.
fun, what fun. Well, I suppose I should say break a leg, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and we all know what that means, right?
Yeah. Hope to see you.
Good, great. I'm Ann Pearl, you're watching Schenectady Today. We're going to take a quick break. Of course, the video doesn't work, so you can just look at a picture, but that's okay. So we'll see you back here in just a minute, and we're going to be talking with Roger Savoy and talking about the Homebrew Emporium and their 20th anniversary and how to make beer, wine, vinegar, sarsaparilla, root beer.
This stuff.
And he tells me kimchi, so stay tuned. Okay.
About. Okay, now, in regard to this, somebody just said to me, some people are getting good pensions. And I said, that may be, but I said, there are different pension plans. Some of the management people have a different pension plan. If they're getting good money, fine. I'm talking about this plan which affects most people. Now, today with the talk about what's happening in the terrible condition that we are in our country and throughout the world, about the fact that so much money goes to the leaders of some of the organizations, and they're now talking about getting rid of the golden parachutes and things like that because it made a difference. Let's talk about this plan that we have. I'm up here, you can hardly see it, but I get now $888 a month. Down here underneath me is the great Jack.
And here we are back again, and with me is my friend Roger Savoy. Roger's been on the show I don't even know how many times. We have made, we made cheese together,
cheese,
we made
beer,
vinegar,
wine.
we made wine, we made
Soda?
soda, root beer, we've made
All of that
sarsaparilla.
stuff. Yep. We've been doing it 20 years
I know
together.
it. And you're going for your 20th anniversary.
That's right. Well, with the business. My wife's 45 years, so.
Okay.
But yes, this is our 20th, and we are pretty excited about some of the recent things that we're doing. One of them is that we're starting a brewery.
Yeah, a brewery, so that means you get the big tanks and all kinds of...
Well, they come in all different sizes. Now,
Yeah.
we have a baby tank. It's only 100 gallons.
100 gallons, that'll
Yeah, it's a little taller than
give
you.
a few people headaches.
Well, it's
If you drink enough of it.
it's a big step for us, but it's we anticipate that we're going to have a successful business. We know what we're doing.
Are you going to serve or sell?
We have we're setting up a tap room. We are
Nice.
we already received our federal license, and we have to go for the state, and we're going to be applying for a farm brewery.
And what is a farm brewery? You use that term, and I'm not sure what that means.
Farm brewery means that we are using New York State products.
Okay.
And there was legislation passed a number of years ago, 4 or 5, that basically gave a few easier paths to reach customers if you use New York State products, and that includes both beer, wine, cider, mead, and distilled products. So the explosion that you've seen out there of all of the breweries, wineries, distilleries, and all of that is partly due to that, and partly
They're able to get a little bit of help.
yes, there are some benefits that are ascribed to that law. But one of the things is with brewing, you have to use more and more New York State products as time goes on.
And are all those products, I mean, they grow hops here? Do they grow?
Oh, sure.
So everything is grown here?
Everything is now being grown here. There's still, the hops is easier to plant. The barley is a little more difficult to get the right strain growing in New York. You have different conditions here than you do in the Midwest, and the barley does not grow as well here. So
So you're creating, in a
that
way,
has-
you're creating new industries.
That's
for-
correct, and that's exactly what. And there are a lot of helpful institutions doing things for people who want to do that. The Carey Center has a number of programs to bring brewers and suppliers together, and I think Schenectady has a brewing program now, and there are a number of other. There was an article in the Times-Union the other day about the several people working in trying to again connect people to help brewers like me find the products we need to make our beer. I mean, I don't have a problem because I'm in the industry already and I know where to get this.
Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah, and the reason that all of these, not the sole reason, but one of the big reasons all of these places are here now is because we've done a real good job making people know how to brew.
People were so interested in the beginning.
Yeah. And they still are.
Beer is beer, okay. And I get, all right, see, I'm not a connoisseur. I admit this, I am not.
That's like saying wine is wine.
Well, yeah, so.
You're a wino, right?
I mean. No, and I don't drink wine either, so I don't know. But anyway, I like vinegar though, but anyway.
Many different kinds.
What makes beer different? I mean, what is it? Do you say, I think I want a little more hops, or I want a little more of this, or shall I add this?
If you look at,
I don't know, and I'd like to know.
We have maybe 80 different grains. We have maybe 100 different
so
yeasts.
Any of those combinations will give different tastes, is that
correct? The grains, for example, can be either, they're malted and then they can be roasted. And when you roast them, you can, just like your coffee, you can have it very lightly roasted, or you can have it very darkly roasted, and it gives you different, and it gives you different characteristics. So if you know that, okay, so each yeast is a different strain, is a different, like a little chemical factory, and they make little different aromas and flavors.
So there's a lot of pieces that you can play with.
What I as a brewer.
That's why you make 30 different cakes out of the same.
That's right.
Yeah.
So just like any cook, you know your spices. You can take the same spices and your initial ingredients, and you can add the spices to it. And one way you get a curry, the next way you get a beef bourguignon. You know, whatever you're knowing your ingredients with beer. You have something you want to create. So I like English milds, and they're kind of like a light brown. So I look for some grains that will give me like a caramel flavors and chocolate and coffee notes and things like that.
Oh, this is.
Oh, it's very
interesting. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So have you decided on what your beers are you going to have just one beer, or are you going to have a half dozen?
No, we did. Well, actually, we expect to have a dozen taps. That's what which is fairly large, but we hope to put a little bit of a spotlight on English-style beers, which concentrate more on the malt flavor than the hops. Hops are big now in the United States. Hops is where it's at, it's kind of almost an overkill on a lot of it. It's just so hoppy that you can't taste all the ingredients, and it's not as balanced as somebody who's been drinking beer for 50 years.
Well, you know, it's interesting because you mentioned mead. What is mead? Is that it always seems like that's that heavy stuff.
Mead is same thing. You have it's honey, and so you're making a wine out of it. That's what it is. And for example, there's one of
a wine. So mead is not.
Mead is a fermented. No. It's a wine.
Okay.
But think
I'm
of it.
So glad you came. I'm working.
Think of it more like a cider, you know. So you squeeze your apples and then you throw in the yeast and again you can use different apples, you can use different yeasts, and those will all give you different flavors. And different cideries differentiate themselves with different ingredients. With the mead, you're using different honeys, and they can come from all different plants and things.
It depends on what the bees are eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, we carry things like blueberry honey, which is collected all from blueberries in Maine.
Yeah.
We carry orange blossom honey and things like that. So you get different flavors.
And they all taste different because I've had different honeys.
Yes.
And it's amazing how different they are based on what feels that the bees are.
And the mead you can do is you can design it. Do you want it to be 18%? Do you want it to be 12? Do you want it to be 6? One of our friends, Royal Meadery, they're in Delmar now. They have a lovely 7% sparkling wine, and it's just a pleasure to drink. It's about the same as a cider.
Sparkling wines, are they naturally
well, these
carbonated?
They can be. This one was in a bottle, so it was possibly, but he'd be serving it in a keg. So he's one of the people that he's a farm meadery. All New York State honey is used, and we hope to have one of his taps. As a farm brewery, we're allowed to have other farm brewery products and other farm wineries, cideries, etc. At our place.
Where are you opening up? Tell us about that, so that and when is it going to be, so we can all tune in?
Well, we're hoping that we'll have it done by before Thanksgiving, I mentioned I'm still working on the state application, so I have a little while before that. But we've been working for the last couple of months at at our store, and we have a.
It's in Rensselaer.
Yes, on Route 4 at 472 North Greenbush. And we will be right next to our homebrew store, and we've carved out about a 600 square foot for our tap room, and I'm pretty much doing most of the work myself.
Don't you have to also have food?
Well,
is that a requirement by the state?
I don't believe so. You might have to. I have to check there, but we do plan to have something. I mean, we're right next to a pizza place, a couple of walk, from there, and so we'll let people bring things in.
Yeah.
But we plan to have like German pretzels and things like that. I make mustard too, so I have a pub mustard.
What does this guy not make, honestly?
Houses. Well, I'm doing all the work on. I put all the woodwork in there.
This guy's so talented. I've known him over the years, and it's like there's nothing he can't do. He even travels. So.
I love to travel, and it's fun doing that. I mean, I've actually brewed in Europe twice.
Really? Oh my God. How many people can claim that?
Well, one of the guys that works for us has brewed in South America and in England. So yeah, we have some talented people at our store, and they will. The people that are at my store are going to be the brewers, and they all have, decades of experience as home brewers.
We mentioned that you have 5 locations. Tell us where they are, because some people are watching on the web.
Yep, we have one in West Boylston, Massachusetts. We have one in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and we have one in Weymouth, Massachusetts.
So you have 4 locations.
There's also one in New Rochelle.
Okay.
The homebrew industry has had some great success. We've trained millions of people to make beer and wine and stuff, and there are now 5,000 or 6,000 breweries in there. However, that hasn't necessarily been good for the homebrew industry, because with all those breweries, it's not as imperative to brew to make your beer. I mean, there's dozens of places around here. It's if it's raining outside and you don't want to go out and make your beer, you can just pop down to the local tap room like mine and pick up some beer. So the homebrew industry across the United States has had some difficult times, ourselves included.
But you're doing okay.
We've adapted. We do things, and we'll survive. We're making changes. As a farm brewery, we are allowed to sell things like homebrew products, and we're actually New Rochelle has not done as well as we'd hope, and we will be closing that site next year. But as a farm brewery, we're allowed to have 5 additional sites in New York State where we can do the same thing that we do up here. So our expectation is we will open a brewery down there, and then we will reopen with a section that'll have homebrew. So we're adapting to the climate as it is now, and it's a challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm not ready to retire yet.
We want to congratulate you on your 20th year of being in the homebrew emporium.
And it's been a pleasure knowing you those 20 years.
I love you. So
my wife would be jealous, but she's not the jealous type.
No, I know she is. Anita's a wonderful woman. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to take a look at what's going on Upper Union Street. They're having a Harvest Festival, and we don't want to miss that one either. Stay tuned.
Thanks.
Guess what Jack Welch gets a month? $800,000.
A month?
A month. He gets over $6 million a year. And this is just an example of the greed of the company, and they're not wanting to do things for the people. Now, that takes care of that one.
Okay.
That takes care of that one. The other day I was honored by the Catholic Family Services.
I saw that. Congratulations.
For being an activist. And I got, every time you get
And we're
something
back
like
again.
this.
And with me, I have Sandra Stevens. Sandra is celebrating her 20th anniversary as well for Sandra's Fine Jewelry, and she's located on Upper Union Street. She's here to talk maybe a little bit about Sandra's and also about the Harvest Fest coming up. So, Sandra, congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
know.
Girl power. God bless you.
Yes.
This is wonderful. You're a great example for the community. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, 20 years.
20 years. Unbelievable. 20 years. I don't know where it went. Woman-owned, very rare in the United States, and now a son and a new grandson. So we carry on the tradition,
Yeah,
and
great.
thank you to the community for getting us to 20 years.
Yeah.
But I'm here to talk about the Upper Union Street Harvest Festival, and it's going to be a big bash. We're looking for you to support our local community. There's no reason to hip-hop only out of state to go to a Harvest Festival. It's going to be October 7th.
And it's always fun.
Oh, this is going to be a blast. This is going to be a big one. We've got so many participants. It's Saturday, October 7th from 10 to 3. There's going to be pony rides
And the
for the
weather's gonna be
children.
great.
Isn't it going to be wonderful? It's going to be a little bit cooler. We don't complain. With all the horrible things that have been happening in the world, we don't
right.
complain.
No, never complain.
But it's going to be a little cooler. We've got a lot of excitement going on. First at Sandra's, we're going to be kicking off the United States Marine Corps Toys for Tots.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we are blessed this year and humbled that Washington has named the Toys for Tots train after Saunders. And we're looking to help raise 250,000 toys for the train that travels from here up north near the Canadian border.
They stop along the way.
Yep, and then west, it'll be going toward Binghamton. We service all of our local charities, and we look forward to your support, so you can stop by Saunders from now until December 21st and drop off a new toy, and we'll register
it should be
you.
a new toy.
Yes, it should be a new toy. There's going to be thousands of locations, and we hope you'll support the United States Marine Corps, who are working hard for us. We're going to be kicking off our breast cancer awareness under the tent at Saunders with hair razors. Another local business, Penny Williams, we're going to be doing pink hair extensions and pink ink this year. So you can get a temporary Fight Like a Girl tattoo in
that sounds
support
good, yeah.
of breast cancer awareness. And all the proceeds, it's only $10, goes to Bellevue Women's Center.
I was
So
thinking of doing my hair in pink.
Oh, it'll be wonderful. Come up and we'll get you an extension, a little pink extension. And then we have the Animal Protective Foundation.
Oh, they're
Maple
wonderful.
Avenue, you know, we support
Yeah,
them, you support them. And they're going to be under the tent at Sandra's, and come see them. They're going to be selling things, and all the money goes to the Animal Protective Foundation. So that's the beginning. You've got grilling at Gershon's. You've got home-style
Grilling at
pizza.
Gershon's. They're gonna be cooking
they're going to be
outside?
cooking outside.
That's going to smell so
Is that going to be
good.
fabulous? Unbelievable. Home-style pizza is going to be having food, and
You
they're
just
going to be having
mentioned two of
music.
my sponsors for the 1000 show.
Isn't that wonderful?
yeah.
So Anthony and his crew, unbelievable. They're going to be having music. We're going to have Scotty's restaurant. We all know that. They're going to be having
Great food there.
fried dough, and his young daughter is a cookie specialist now. So come buy her cookies. She's only 14 years old, and she's
Get
going to be
out. Good
selling
for her.
cookies.
Talk about woman power.
Well,
We're
at
starting
14,
them getting early.
we are, and it's going to be so exciting. We've got sales at Simon's, sales at Muzzler's. We've got music at Hot Harry's. We've got so much stuff going on.
So much up on Upper Union Street. It is a town
Thank
in
you.
itself. I mean, it's amazing. What's going into the old Dunkin' Donuts? Anything?
We
yet?
don't know yet, but they say it's rented. We've got new hairstylists. We've got another fabulous
Well,
thing.
the Squire's
The Squire's opening, and we can't wait. That's going to be wonderful from our friends on River Road, and we're very excited about them opening. We hope that you'll support them. The other thing we have is at Ed's Barbershop. He's going to have the Veterans Miracle Center there, and please come up and meet the vets and donate. There's so many charitable things going going on.
You're going to
There's
do this
music.
all in this. This sounds like a 3-day event.
It's the food. It's going to be food galore. It's going to be music, pumpkins, face painting. It's going to be pony rides. Look how exciting it is right here in Upper Union Street. There's going to be parking on all the side streets. There's lots behind my store, public lot. You can walk right up in between us and Trusco Bank. There's going to be so much going on. Come early, spend the day, have lunch up there, visit all the shops.
It's amazing. I mean, you have the restaurants. Every time I talk to Maureen or Madeline, who comes on the show, it's like a new restaurant has opened up. I mean, you have every kind of food almost, Mexican and Italian.
Oh, we've got Tesoros. We've got Upper Union Street. We've got the Union Street Cafe.
And that's Greek. One of nice Greek foods.
Greek. We've got so many wonderful. Yeah. She's going to be having an event there. Upper Union Street, the Union Cafe is going to be there. You've got to come. Spend a few hours on Upper Union Street. Shop small. And see what we're all about. It's going to be very exciting. And support the United States Marine Corps. We have so much to thank them for.
Toys and bring them that
yes,
day?
And you can make a cash donation to them, and all the money, 97 cents on the dollar. Where can you support a charity where 97 cents on the dollar goes to the children? The rest goes to posters and boxes. Yeah. Can you believe it? And we look forward to hosting you. Come in, we're going to be having a raffle.
All the money that they collect goes towards what they're doing.
All the money goes to what they're doing. It's very, very important. There are so many children in need. We are carrying coats and mittens. We're partnered with Freihofers. We're partnered with Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks. There's just so much going on. And we all know that in our local communities, the need is great. So we are very much looking forward to the support. We can't do it without the community. Yeah. And this is going to be, no, that's okay. Believe me, that's fine. But the Harvest Festival is a big event this year. You won't be bored. Come show your support. It's going to be.
So did you mention the bands or the groups?
There's going to be 2 bands, 2 or 3 bands, and there's also going to be an art show. I didn't want to forget that. So we've blossomed into art. And we've blossomed into. That's going to be on the street. There's going to be an art show. There's art you can buy.
I was going to say, can you buy it?
You can buy it.
Fun to buy.
There's going to be vendors. There's going to be things that you can buy, harvest items that you can buy. I don't think you're going to see something this exciting, not local. It's a local event.
And it takes place on the street.
The whole street.
They close the street.
They don't close the street.
I remember once I was there and all the motorcycles came through.
Oh, and they're going to be there again, and you're going to see how wonderful the community meshes and how exciting it is to be on Upper Union Street. We started very, very small. Remember in the old days with Tony Renna and Mike Mastriani and Gershons and myself going down to see the politicians and saying, could we get a bid going? And look what's blossomed.
And now you got the Upper Union
We're like 99% rented. That's unbelievable for a small local business district. So
it's the downtown that we remember in a way.
And Saratoga is nice, but come get a little taste of Upper Union Street.
Upper Union Street, you've really put a mark on the city with that
area.
It is. And I think it's just wonderful what you've done. Sandra, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having us, and we'll see you at Harvest Fest.
Yes, and you'll see me there because I'm going to be there.
Absolutely.
I plan on being there.
Thank you, Ann.
Before you go, I just need to announce this. So what's coming up next week? Oh, next week we have a fabulous show coming up. It's called Schenectady Tomorrow, and we're having 2 panels. The first panel is called Economic Engines, Business and Nonprofits Working Together. We have Carm Basil from the CEO of CDTA, Jeff Buell from the Sequence Development. He's redeveloping the Foster Building. We have Jamie LaHutt, the Executive Director of Metroplex. Ray Legier, he's does a lot of redoing of the city and different buildings and redevelopment, and he's also the owner, the proud owner of the Schenectady Armory. And Colleen Maris is going to be on that panel as well, and she's with DSIC, Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation. For our second panel, it's called Fueling the Engines, Arts, Entertainment, and Tourism. We're going to have for panel members Maria Papa, she's the owner of Parecas. Judy Patrick, she is the editor and vice president of Schenectady Daily Gazette. Max Sudduth, the president of MySci. Madeline Thorne, the executive director of Habitat Humanity, and she also worked for the Upper Union Street
Yes, she
group
has.
as well, and other community projects, and Mary Zawecki for the Executive Director of the Schenectady Historical Society. So we have a really jam-packed show coming up. I hope that you'll watch it. Filmed in the GE Theater, so it was, we've already filmed it actually, so it was really a great show. So I want to thank you all, but you know what, I think we forgot to mention when the play is over at the Circle Theater Players. One more time, it's coming up August 6th through the 15th. Thank you for watching Schenectady Today. I'm Ann Curley, your host.